now, but not in Jill's estimation, as we're underway in the second period. Al Sims to Phil Esposito, trying to get away from Talon and Mackey to Orr. Orr weaves, may break right through. He is in. He is filled. And no call. Centering pass to Sims. The shot blocked as Orr was spilled, breaking right up the middle and penetrating. He saw the opening, a slight opening that closed, and no call by Wally Harris. And Orr, stick handling out, has a word for Harris as he breaks center ice again. Again moves in. Now to Busick, in alone. He missed the pass. Back for Orr, blocked. Orr in the corner. Orr maneuvering, drives it to Hodge. Hodge, centering pass, blocked in front. Hodge around the boards. Sims keeps it in. It goes to Hodge, right in front. Tap, loose, dug out by Chico Mackey. And Dennis Hull breaks. A scorcher that rocked off the pads of Gilbert. Rebound to Orr. Sims, Busick, back for Orr again. Third time he's carried. Back for Busick, sends him over the line. Broken up by Dale Talon, though. Talon passes center ice, taken by Vadnais. He's over the line, trying to cut through. Broken up by Bill White. Sends Talon away on a break. Forbes tries to get back. Talon stops, cuts, looks to Mackey, and he missed on the shot as Talon made a nice play there stopping. Hodge breaks it out. Hodge drives on Tony Esposito, the save. Bill White into the corner. Phil Esposito and Mackey battle. Still battling. White there. Dallas Smith up there. And now the whistle for the faceoff to the right of Tony Esposito. Chicago leads 2-0.
Fred, just as I was going down, I saw Rhoda fire that puck in the first period. Beautiful shot. He really got good wood on it. Well placed for a slap shot. You know, we saw him score 2 goals and had a third one called back in Chicago. He's a fine goal scorer. Got a good idea where that net is, which of course is very important. On the net, that's the name of the game.
Draw to Dallas Smith. The shot is very wide. Long rebound. Vadnais keeps it in for Cashman. Back for it, Phil Russell, though. Sanderson runs into Jarrett. Marks trying to come out, stopped by Sanderson. Along the boards, Makita. Cashman. Cashman breaks him up. Can't set up a play, though, and Makita is out with Carl. And offside at the Boston line. Chicago in front 2-0. The faceoff called at center ice. Stan Makita, who missed the last game here in Boston when Chicago was so defensive-minded throughout and checked in with 2 goals, had a 2-0 lead, and Boston finally tied it up in the closing seconds. Makita was out with the flu. And now, as Billy Ray has indicated, he's got 3 lines pretty well set. And Vadnais with it now. Starting out, Makita forechecking. Flip pass in for Sanderson. Controlled. Has to hold it outside, though, and play it back to Vadnais while Forbes moved in too deep. Forbes clears it in, wide of Tony Esposito. Tony Esposito to Phil Russell. Russell looks for a faceoff and gets it. They figure with a faceoff man like Makita, they'll take the chance on the faceoffs, and with a 2-0 lead, they don't want to throw that puck away.
Actually, these are 2 very good faceoff men, Derek Sanderson and Stan Makita. Always a battle. Sanderson with a backhand draw, probably the Dallas Smith at the point.
And it won't be Sanderson. He's waved out by Leon Stickle. Makita won it easily against Forbes. Jarrett, Marks. Boston checking, but Phil Russell with the puck. Looking for Marks. It broke away. Back for it, Vadnais. Icing on the play as he just used his body to push Makita out of there and touch it first. 16:48 left in the second period. A 2-0 lead for Chicago.
Chicago goals both coming in the first period. Martin is 20th of the year at 9:02 on the power play. And Darcy Rhoda, 18:48 of the first period. His 13th of the year. It's 2-0 Chicago. Rhoda and Martin both have a goal and an assist so far tonight.
Makita beats Sanderson on the faceoff for Bill Russell. Out for Marks. Checked by Sanderson. Fed in. Tipped wide. In the corner. Forbes on it. Forbes checked by Carl. They're looking for faceoff. It goes out to Sanderson. Back to Dallas Smith. Over to Vadnais. Hit it on the goal and missed. Nice shot by Vadnais, though. He released it quickly. Dallas Smith keeps it in. Blocked. And out comes Makita with Marks trailing. Makita over the line. Quick drive. Just wide. And can't he drive him? He gets another one from the right side and misses. Jarrett left point. Up now for Carl. For Makita. Out to Carl. Ridden off by Sanderson to Forbes. To Cashman. Back for Forbes. A break here. 2 men free if he can get it over there. He's hauled by Russell. Cashman digging for it. Forbes has it. To Cashman behind the net. Can't center it. Cashman checked by Makita and Russell. And Forbes in hard there too. But it's tied up for a faceoff. Marks starts to jam with Forbes. And the linesmen move in between. Marks didn't like that late hit by Forbes. There's a break in the action with the score. Chicago 2 and Boston nothing. Let's pause for this message.
Got the answer to tonight's memory flogger? Not sure yet? Well, here's one thing you can be sure of. You did come up with a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability like no other if you've been watching tonight's game with a supply of crisp, cold Budweiser beer on hand. Man, that's good beer. Okay. Why didn't any team win the 1919 Stanley Cup playoffs? The answer is bad colds. An epidemic of Spanish flu hit both Montreal and Seattle squads, and the playoffs were canceled. If you knew that, you know your hockey.
Forbes trying to sneak down this left side. Now he had Vadnais and Sanderson coming in on that right side, but he couldn't get the puck over as Russell made a fine play, knocking him down. Cashman ran Russell into the boards. And you'll see what started all the pushing and shoving right here. Well, I guess we won't see that. Okay, Fred.
Play on now. And over on the right wing side, O'Reilly. Holding. Out of the corner. A backhander. Pops wide of Tony Esposito. Shepard plays it around the other side. O'Reilly digging for it. Out of the boards. Drives it in, but wide. And Bill White gets control. To Redmond. Up the board, stopped by Orr, right point. In for Shepard to O'Reilly. O'Reilly back to Orr. Orr, right point. Backhander blocked. Shepard to O'Reilly. Back for Shepard. He missed it and escapes. Back for Sims, though. Screen shot blocked. Keeps it in, but now Martin works it out to Darcy Rhoda. And a hard drive misses the net. And he's got a screaming shot, that Rhoda. And he's got 1 goal. Here's Orr. Dances through. Save! Score! Shepard on the rebound. What a rush by Bobby Orr.
Talk about a tremendous play, doing things as you think of them. Look at Orr. Slide through that Chicago defense. The drive. Esposito with a fine skate save. But Shepard perfectly placed, coming in for the rebound, tossed it into that top corner. Tony Esposito made a tremendous stop on that drive by Orr. It was partially screened, but Orr slipping through that Chicago defense like a ballet dancer. He was almost hit twice, and he finally broke through, made the great play, and Shepard the rebound for Greg Shepard, who's had a tough time getting off the ground. His 5th goal of the year, or the assist. Watch this shift here. Beautiful play by Orr. And there's a good stop by Esposito, but he couldn't get back in time. Great play by Orr.
Shepard from Orr. Puck now to Don Marcotte. Checked on the play, but he battles. Works it over the line. Checked along the boards by Crisco and ridden off. And Pitt Martin with it. Plays it out to the Boston zone. Back for it. Sims, as Bordelot is on now with Crisco playing the wings. Boston trails by a goal. Here's Orr out by Crisco in the center ice. For O'Reilly over the line. Back for Shepard. Intercepted by Crisco. Played around the boards for Russell. Out. Shepard battles. O'Reilly keeps it in. He's checked. Sims keeps it in. Plays it in the corner to Marcotte. Marcotte stopping, looking to Shepard, who's ridden off. Marcotte has it again, or signaling for it. Marcotte is checked. Jarrett looks for a face-off and gets it as the Bruins carry the play. There's a break in the action with the score, Chicago 2 and Boston 1. Let's pause for this message.
Delta is ready when you are.
Shepard from Orr at 5:14, the goal. That doesn't tell the story. Hodge keeps it in to Busick. A shot over the head of Tony Esposito. Hodge keeps it in, centering pass. Mackey covers Phil Esposito and blocks it. And Mackey has it from Redmond. And Talon looking for a lead pass. Deflects near the net. Golfed into the crowd by Gilbert and a face-off call. Well, Orr shows you something different every game. When you play 78 games, it's a long schedule, but there's something different.
That'll be an impromptu performance, Fred, really. That was a great move. It looked like, I think at the outset, he thought he could get through the Chicago defense. Bill White, playing on the right side, moved over very quickly. He blocked that gap. Or at the very last split second, realized he wasn't going to get through. He just balleted to the other side. Now he went on the right wing side, which is unusual for him. And he moved right through. A beautiful play by Orr. The drive, Tony Esposito made a fine right pad save, but Shepard coming in for the rebound, and you saw Tony had no chance on the play.
Well, Orr had preoccupied at least 3 Hawks, and that leaves a few Bruins free. Esposito to Dallas Smith. He starts it out. Chicago leads 2-1. Dallas Smith to Busick. Fed in wide of Tony Esposito. Talon is back. Chicago plays it around the boards. Busick to Hodge. Bounced off his stick. Rolls over to Dennis Howe. Trying to clear it out. It went off Ken Hodge and into the crowd. The face-off call.
I asked Billy Ray about Dale Talon in the end of the first period, Fred. I'll get to that in a moment.
Now let's pause for this program reminder.
Ollie and Stan get into another fine mess in the further adventures of Laurel and Hardy. Century Cinema, Saturday at 6 p.m. TV 38. All fun and games.
Hodge clears it in. 13:02 left, second period. It's been a fine hockey game. Chicago leads 2-1. White. Check. Hodge can't control it. Chico Mackey for Dennis Howell outside at the Boston line as Mackey made a good play.
Well, to get back to my Talon story, I asked Billy Ray about changing the system a little bit with Talon covering Esposito. He was sort of non-committal, but I noticed on this shift, Talon goes into forecheck if Esposito has the puck, and then he stays right with him as soon as he makes Esposito pass the puck. He stays right close to him, and he lets the man carrying the puck, in this case it was Dallas Smith, he doesn't continue to forecheck. He picks up Esposito and swings back. That is a change from the outset because Esposito got in twice all by himself.
Vadnais from Dallas Smith. And a bouncer in. Tony blocks it for Bill White. White starts it out for Chicago. Now to big Dale Talon. Trying to go through. In the corner, can't center it. Vadnais around for Busick. Too far ahead. He pokes it by White, though. He breaks over the line. Busick cutting. Drops it for Vadnais. For Hodge. A backhander popped in the air. Vadnais trying to move it in front, but somebody, a Bruin, reached up, tapped it, and it's called for the faceoff outside the Chicago line.
Almost a dangerous play for Boston, but watch Ken Hodge here. Will intercept the pass. He probably should have left it for Vadnais. He's a right-hand shot. He took it on his backhand. Watch Hodge here in Vadnais. Now, he could have left it for Vadnais with that drive. He would have really whistled that one, but Hodge took it the backhand. They never got the good shot away.
Dallas Smith to Vadnais over the line. Drive in off Esposito. Busick trying to center it. It goes to the other corner. Hodge to Busick behind the net. Back for Hodge. Shot blocked. Hodge falls down, pops it in the air, and it's caught by Tony Esposito in the faceoff to the left of Tony. Boston carrying the play. The Bruins trail 2-1. First period goals by Pitt Martin and Darcy Rhoda. He's just 20 years old. He'd be 21 in February and has a bright prospect in the National Hockey League. Shepard scoring for Boston.
For Darcy Rhoda, he's been red hot lately. That's his 5th goal in the last 4 games for Chicago. And Pitt Martin has 6 goals in 7 games. He now has 7 goals in 8 games. The two fellows are really producing for Chicago.
Makita wins the faceoff. Jarrett to Makita. Stopped by Orr, center ice. flips it up. Cliff Carl with it. To John Marks. Fed in the Boston zone. Al Sims around. Here's Marks all over Orr, and Hodge digs it out. Checked by Nikita. They battle. And a whistle finally by Wally Harris for a faceoff to the right of Gilbert. With the score, Chicago 2 and Boston 1. Let's pause for this. Faceoff to the right of Gilbert. Sanderson against Nikita. That was the situation. Now it's Carl against Cashman. To Forbes. Loose puck. Forbes drops it. Carl has it. To John Marks. The shot is blocked. Knocked away by Sims. For Forbes to Sanderson. That in wide to the left of Tony Esposito. Marks is back there. Hit by Forbes. Forbes goes down. Carl plays it around the boards for Jarrett. Up the board, stopped by Orr, fed back in, bounces. Forbes, a backhander, but right to Phil Russell. And out at center ice, Carl taken out of the play by Sims, and Orr with it. To Forbes, up the right side for Cashman. He's checked. Orr gets it to Cashman over the line of break. Orr, Sanderson, drop pass for Orr. Orr has to cut back for it. And his backhander is blocked. Sanderson dropped it for Orr. Here's Carl. And now Gilbert out of the net to get it. The loose puck in the Boston end for Orr. Up for Cashman to Sanderson. Plays it back to Orr, but it's a high pass. An aerial pass. Orr starts out. 2-1 Chicago. Martin checks Orr, and he got a pass away for Forbes, but it went wide. Onside, Cashman hustled in. Forbes pins Russell. Good digging by Cashman to get there first. And the faceoff now to the right of Tony Esposito. And Chicago is watching Orr like a hawk.
Very good, Fred. Excellent. 2-1 to score. Chicago leading the Boston Bruins. 10:06 left to play. Second period. Martin and Rota scoring for Chicago in the first period. Shepard scoring from Bobby Orr at 5:14 of the second period, his 5th of the year. And our guest at the end of the period, Carl Vadnais, defenseman for the Bruins.
Martin against Shepard. Marcotte checks White. Redmond with it for White. Up for Pappen. For Redmond again. They're halfway through the hockey game. 2-1 lead for Chicago. Is Dallas Smith trying to get Pappen, but the puck bounces to the Boston zone. Martin forechecking on Vadnais. Off for Shepard. Too far ahead of O'Reilly. Rota drives it around. Marcotte going after it, but it's Pappen getting it. Fed in. Struck O'Reilly. O'Reilly flattened Martin, who is just getting up now as Shepard clears it in. Oh, did he hit Martin? Marcotte, a centering pass. Bounces. Dallas Smith a drive, and the screen hits wide. And the forechecking of Boston set that up. Long pass. Dallas Smith clears it back in. White. Backcourt icing called against the Bruins. 9:13 left. Second period. Chicago leads 2-1.
This line for the Bruins over the past 4 or 5 games has been a real hustle line. Shepard at center, Riley right wing, Marcotte on the left side. Playing very strong two-way hockey. They scored the only goal in that 1-0 win over St. Louis on Tuesday night with some great hustle by Don Marcotte and Shepard and O'Reilly. They played a very sound game, and they have so far here tonight, as Shepard has scored the only goal so far for the Bruins.
Shepard gets the draw to Dallas Smith. Keith Magnuson is okay on the Chicago bench, just hasn't played. Shepard can't connect with Marcotte. Puck to the Hawk zone. Russell with Marcotte in pursuit. Off to Jarrett. Stop. Marcotte with it. Quick drive, saved by Tony Esposito. Fine hustling work by Marcotte, who's in again. Rolls back. Dallas Smith. Feeding in the corner. Stopped by Russell. Stopped by O'Reilly on the boards. Back for Dallas Smith. The shot deflected wide. O'Reilly shoves Jarrett out of the way, but Jarrett gets it. Checked by O'Reilly, and it goes into the crowd, and the faceoff is called outside the line by Wally Harris. With the score, Chicago 2 and Boston 1. Let's pause for this.
Mount Rushmore, where travelers tell us which credit card they prefer.
I carry the American Express card because I find it's the only one that I need.
We used American Express at a French department store and bought a crib for the baby.
The American Express card is like a backstop.
American Express card is probably the best you can have.
The amount of money the American Express card costs is just a drop in the bucket for what it's worth.
Call 800-AE8-5000 to apply for an American Express card.
Face off outside the Chicago line. Esposito, Hodge, Busick with Orr and Sims. Over to Sims, rather. A shot in on Tony Esposito to save. White with it. White with Redmond on the Chicago defense. This is Redmond. Hit by Sims. Puck loose in the corner, and Busick with it. Winding up. Plays it back to Orr. 8:07 left, second period. Orr to Phil Esposito by Talon. Talon getting back on Esposito. Esposito clears it in as he's ridden off at the defense. And back for it quickly is Talon. Out for Dennis Hull. Long pass stopped by Sims. Busick drives it back in the Chicago zone. Bruins keeping the heat on, but Chicago defending well. Bill White controlling. Off on the boards. Tapped out to Talon. He's broken up. Dennis Hull with it for Chicago. They have not had many shots on Gilbert in the second period, but they lead 2-1. Busick into White. But it's Mackey over the line. Drop pass checked by Sims. Dennis Hull a shot. Blocked by Hodge. Mackey with it. Behind the net. Centers it. Blocked in front. Hodge trying to clear it out. Can't. Kept in by Mackey. Now intercepted by Orr on his pass. And Orr slows it down. Now starts it out. The crowd yells. He set up a spectacular. Over the line. Still going. Still going. Quick shot. Save. Tony Esposito. Score. Hodge. 7 minutes. Wally Harris says no. As Hodge knocked it out of the glove of Tony Esposito, and Tony is mad, but the whistle had blown.
That's exactly right, Fred. A little drive by Orr. Hodge was breaking on that right side. I don't think Bobby saw him. He made a little flip shot here. Watch Hodge down that right side. Here's Orr with the drive. Now watch the whistle just blowing right there when Hodge hit Esposito's glove, knocked the puck out of his hand. And Esposito gave a little stick nudge to Hodge, as much as to say, look, let's not do that again, fellow.
The crowd really on edge when Orr starts to rush out. And is he ever moving? The puck back to Sims in the draw. The shot is wide. The other corner, Hodge, checked by Redmond, gets it over to Phil Esposito. He just couldn't get control. And it bounces to Stan Mikita. Mikita out on a good one to Dennis Hull. Quick shot, misses. Right side, Mikita's shot. Trickles in on Gilbert, and he covers. One of the rare sorties by Chicago. They've had spasmodic ones in the second period, but not many shots on Gilbert. As we look at Gilbert.
Well, I played some kind of goal in St. Louis, Fred. As you know, I think that was the best goaltending I've seen for quite some time. He made 4 or 5 miraculous stops. The Bruins were not skating that well, but Gilbert was immense.
Mikita draws for Russell, but he has to go center ice. Over to Jarrett. Back for Russell. Checked by Sanderson. Broken up by Dallas Smith. And Mikita gets the loose puck. Breaks with Marks. Good stick handler. Feeds in for Carl. Marks broken up by Cashman. To Forbes. Stopped, and Stan Mikita with it. All the elements of a Stanley Cup game, this one, as Chicago leads 2-1. Second period, 6:13 left. Dallas Smith around for Forbes. Forbes, a good breakout here. Sanderson back for Forbes. Into the corner, closing to Sanderson. It was blocked. Blocked by Jarrett. Perfect setup for Sanderson. Jarrett made that one. Forbes for Sanderson. Missed it. Vadnais clears it in as Jarrett moved out on him. Russell with Cashman after him. Cashman checks him into the corner, but Marks has it. Checked by Sanderson. Around for Cliff Carl. Other side, Cashman bats it. And Russell pounces on it. And the face-off call to the right of Tony Esposito. Well, you can hear the crowd. They're really on edge in a very exciting hockey game.
Prior to this shift, that Sanderson's line was out there outside of Shepard and O'Reilly and Marcotte. The Bruins forwards are not getting in there to challenge the Chicago defenseman quick enough. They're handling that puck, turning around and facing the play coming in. And they're making those good passes out to the center. That time, Sanderson, Cashman, and Forbes went very quickly into forecheck, but that's what you have to do against this Chicago system. You give defensemen like Bill White a time to turn around and look at the man coming in, and he'll pass that puck by you 99 times out of 100. Very, very quick with the wrist, makes good passes, and that's what the Bruins have to do here, is they have to hustle a little quicker, get that Chicago defenseman before he gets time to turn around and look to where he's going to pass it.
Face off to Kit Martin, wins it for Bill White. Out to Darcy Rhoda, now to Martin. Martin over the line, drop pass for Papin, broken up. Cashman with it from Sims. To Dallas, to Orr. Here he streaks, coming up on Redmond. Over the line, cuts in, and is filled, and Redmond gets the tripping call. As Orr was tripped by Redmond, and Boston will have the man advantage. With the score, is Sanderson getting a penalty and running into Wally Harris and thrown out of the game, I'm sure. Sanderson held off by D'Amico. Sanderson got a misconduct anyway, and now he's battling D'Amico, and he'll have several games suspension, no question about that. As John D'Amico is finally keeping him at bay, and why Sanderson should protest. The penalty was on Redmond, a tripping call against Orr and Boston, but Sanderson just blew his cool.
The only thing I can possibly think of, Fred, is he felt maybe that Orr might have had a penalty shot, although he was not in that clear. It was only from the side. Redmond's getting a tripping call at 14:44. Sanderson really blew his cool. Why he did it, as Fred said, I don't know either, and we'll have to wait and see just what the call's going to be.
John, he's out of the game, and I wouldn't be surprised out of several games. He brushed Wally Harris and shoved him, and Phil Esposito finally calming him down. With the score, Chicago 2 and Boston 1. Let's pause for this.
Bobby Orr, who has been magnificent tonight for the Bruins. Watch him give this change of pace to Redmond. I hope we'll see Redmond just about coming into your picture. Now, right there, he sort of gives him a little change of pace. Redmond hesitates just a moment, and Orr just sifted right around him, knocked him down from the side, and he's off for tripping. Derek Sanderson draws a 10-minute misconduct and a game misconduct. But the Bruins will have the man advantage because the misconduct and game misconduct only affect the player involved in the penalty. They do not affect the on-ice playing strength of the Bruins. So we have a power play situation for Boston. The penalty to Redmond coming at 14:44.
Well, Frank Advari, supervisor assistant to Scotty Morrison, is here at the game. He would have seen Sanderson's actions. At the power play for Boston, and Papin gets the face-off and clears. Papin and Martin, White and Jarrett. For Boston, it is Esposito, Cashman, and Hodge with Vadnais and Orr. Cashman at left wing on this line. Here comes Vadnais to Esposito. Open ice. The Bruins offside. And now let's pause. 5 seconds for station identification.
This is WSBK-TV, Channel 38, Boston.
Face-off outside the Hawk blue line. Martin got that face-off to White again. That's a long shot on Gilbert. One of the few Chicago's had in the period. Orr breaks center ice. By White again. Spilled. Fights to keep it in. And Hodge dives. In for Orr. Quick shot. Save. Tony Esposito as Orr was in front. Orr jams it in the corner and gets a face-off. And what can you say about Orr? I tell you, he is on fire.
Well, Fred, you know, in St. Louis, we saw a different Bobby Orr, right? A defensive game. He played a very strong defensive game tonight. He's been offensive-minded. and he has been something else again. Knocked down there from the side. No call on the play. There's Orr with a drive. Hit the goal post off the skate of Tony Esposito. And he goes into the boards with Papin, and they tie it up for a face-off, as Orr has been all over the ice, offensive-minded tonight. In St. Louis, we saw another exhibition of great play, but this was defensive-minded, and he has made some tremendous plays so far tonight.
Face off to the right of Tony Esposito. 1:17 left, in the penalty to Redmond. This face-off, Hodge to Vadnais. Over to Orr. Fires. Save. Blocked in front. Martin clears it between the point men as Hodge and Martin start to joust a bit. Here comes Vadnais. Slides it in the Chicago zone. Jarrett back quickly. Clears it into the crowd. The face-off in the Chicago territory to the left of Tony Esposito. And it's been a very chippy game. The tempers are rising. And the fans are enjoying this to the utmost. Chicago leads 2-1, and there is Orr. And now Papin coming out after a delay. He's with Martin, White, and Jarrett. White's played most of this period, I think, for Chicago, the way it's going. 54 seconds left on the penalty. 4 minutes left in the period. 2-1 Chicago. The draw right to Vadnais. Quick shot, blocked by White. Into the corner, Papin trying to clear. Orr stops it. Over to Vadnais. A shift to Busick. In front, Tony Esposito on the loose puck. As Busick had it, tried to feed in front, delayed a bit, and Tony was able to tie it up.
We've seen some great passing tonight. Orr from the point makes a beautiful pass. Watch this draw by Vadnais on, I think that's Bill White. Here's to Busick. He couldn't find Esposito quick enough over on that far side, and it seemed to hit somebody on the way across, and it was tied up by Tony Esposito.
Puck loose again. White trying to clear it. Hodge. Back to Orr. Quick shot. Blocked. Orr to Vadnais. Quick drive. Save. Busick. Esposito missed on the pass, but it goes to Orr. 22 seconds left. Papin watching Orr. Orr. A drive. Blocked. And Martin gets the rebound, and it's cleared out off Papin. 10 seconds left in the penalty. Orr winds up. A crowd, listen to them. Here comes Orr. In with Hodge. Hodge closing. In front, loose. Esposito in front, can't connect with Busick. Out comes Redmond. Busick out of the corner. Back for Vadnais. Intercepted by Martin to Redmond. To Mackey. Fed back, broken up by Vadnais. And the Bruins fail to score in the power play. Chicago leads 2-1. Orr checked by Dennis Hull. And the puck fed in now to Dale Talon. He's hit by Vadnais. Dug out by Cashman. For Esposito. Marcotte is on. Esposito. Controlling. Check. Has it again. Now for Marcotte. To Cashman. In front. Blocked by Redmond. And it's cleared out. And Dennis Hull breaks. Doak is back. He has Mackey with him. Drops it for Mackey. Checked by Marcotte. What a defensive play by John Marcotte. Who got back? Here's Esposito to Cashman. Over the line. Moving. Trying to cut in. Goes to the corner. Cashman drops it. Intercepted by Dennis Hull. To Makita. 2 minutes left in the period. Makita over the line. Drop pass. Russell closes. Shoots. Save. Rebound. Drive. Block. Loose puck. Shepard. A breakout for Boston. Looking for O'Reilly. O'Reilly has it over the line for Marcotte. For Shepard. Shot by Redmond. There's Marcotte set him up. And the puck blocked by O'Reilly on Dennis Hull. He knocks Dennis Hull down. It's back to Doak. Right point. He fires. And it's wide. Left point. Dallas Smith. Closing. The shot. Save. Tony Esposito. And it's bounced. Hit in the air. And Wally Harris. Listen to the crowd. What a hockey game. Harris calls the faceoff in the Chicago zone. The Bruins have carried the play. And Marcotte and Shepard discussing their situation, where he dropped it to Shepard, and Shepard had the backhander, but Dick Redmond just came up and blocked it wide. There's Marcotte. who checked back on a 2-1 situation against Boston and prevented a shot by Mackey and broke up the play and sent it the other way. Don Marcotte. 1:27 left in the period, and Bill White, who's played most of the period for Chicago, is out on defense with Redmond. 1:27 left. Face off to the left of Tony Esposito. 2-1 Chicago. Canadians lead Buffalo 2-0. Shepard against Makita. Shepard to Marcotte to Shepard. The shot out by Tony Esposito, as again Redmond just got enough wood on Shepard's shot to take the steam out of it, and it popped to Tony Esposito. Boston has carried the play virtually the entire second period, but they have only one goal, Shepard's. The draw to Doak. The drive deflected wide of Tony Esposito. Dallas Smith keeps it in. To the backboards again. White to Redmond. Can't connect with Makita. Dallas Smith center ice. Up for O'Reilly. O'Reilly can't connect with Shepard. 1:03 left in the period. O'Reilly pins Marks. Chicago leads 2-1. Dallas Smith starts it out. For Doak. Fed in a save by Tony Esposito on the long shot. Marks the quick clear out. Stopped by Orr, who's on again for Shepard. Played in. White moves it out. Orr with it again. Over to Dallas Smith. Up for Marcotte. Cuts in the middle. Trying to drop it for Orr. It went outside the line. Orr to O'Reilly. Broken up. Dallas Smith. Winding up at the Boston line. Quick pass is checked by Marks. And Marks slides it in the Boston zone, and there are 20 seconds left in the period. Chicago in front 2-1. Out comes Marcotte. Shepard. A long shot, a save by Tony Esposito. Holds it away from O'Reilly, and it goes in the corner now to Dale Talon. 3 seconds left. 2, and that's it. In a positively exciting second period. The score at the end of the second period, Chicago 2 and Boston 1. We'll be back with the summary in just a minute.